Guten Tag und herzlich willkommen bei der Unternehmensgruppe.
Hello and welcome to the Fischer Group of Companies. My name is Sarah Pfau, and I'm an industrial management trainee here at Fischer. I've been asked to give you a presentation of our company, so I thought I'd take a camera and make a short film about the company. I'd like to take you on a short journey through the world of Fischer, asking a number of colleagues in the different departments to tell us what they are doing. Let's go. In 1948, company founder Arthur Fischer began by making lighters, loom switches, and flash equipment for Agfa cameras. With the invention of the nylon plug, our company took a decisive step, revolutionizing fixing technology in the whole of the building industry. Klaus Fischer took over from his father in 1980 and made the company into what it is today, the world market leader in fixing technology. The company today also includes the Fischer Technik, Fischer Automotive Systems, and Fischer Consulting divisions. The Fischer Group of Companies operates in around 30 countries with over 40 national companies and employs around 4,000 people worldwide. The biggest and most important part of the Fischer Group of Companies are the fixing systems for the building industry. Here in Tumlingen, it is mainly metal and plastic anchors that we make. To see how this is done and what's special about the production, I've come here to meet someone who should know.
Guten Tag, Herr Dongmann.
Hello, Mr. Dongman. I'm making a brief report on our company, and I'd like to take a look at production first of all. We not only make the classic nylon plugs you'll find in the DIY stores, but also many others. Why do we need so many different fixings?
You need the right kind of fixing for every job. Take heating filters, concrete workers, bricklayers, or carpenters, for instance. They all have their special requirements, and that's where you need the matching fixing for your job.
Fischer's production site here in Tumlingen is not the only one. There are others, aren't there? Which sites are these and what do they make?
Well, here in Tumlingen, we make plastic and metal fixings, chemical fixings in Denzlingen, and metal anchors in Emmendingen. But we also produce abroad, for example, in Italy, the Czech Republic, or in Brazil, mainly making the product needed locally.
And how many fixings are made every day?
Day by day, we make as many as 1 million SX6 fixings, our best seller. In total, we produce around 14 million plastic, metal, and chemical fixings.
But how do I know if a Fischer anchor also does what it promises?
We use different wall constructions to carry out extensive tests. After all, our anchors hold as many as 20 tons, and we have around 14,000 different fixings in our product range. There's bound to be one product that fits the job. The likelihood that the building material fails is greater than the anchor failing.
And how does Fischer manage to be and stay market leader for so many years?
We've worked hard to reach this level of competence, and we safeguard it with rights and patents. If we encounter new challenges and issues, our colleagues in product development and product management get to work to find new solutions.
Now that I've seen how many different fixing systems we make, I'd be interested to see some of the buildings where our products are used.
Bei denen unsere Produkte eingesetzt wurden.
The Three Gorges Dam on the Yangtze River in China, the Porsche Museum in Stuttgart, the Gotthard Tunnel in Switzerland, the world's longest rail tunnel, the Marina Bay Sands Casino in Singapore, the PGE Arena in Danzig, the construction site of the Al Hamra Tower in Kuwait, the building with the world's biggest natural stone facade, or the Burj Khalifa, the world's tallest building. I think these pictures show really well how much our innovative engineering is in demand worldwide. If you listen to people and ask them if they've ever heard of Fischer, many will say fixings, but some will also name the Fischer Technik construction kits. This is still a small but important part of Fischer. I think it's best if I show you some of the beautiful things which still thrill the old and young alike. I've arranged to meet Tobias Bretzing of Fischer Technik here in the Fischer shop, where Fischer employees can do their shopping.
Guten Tag, Herr Bretzing.
Hello, Mr. Bretzing. The first thing that struck me were these little bits called Fischer Tip shown next to the construction kits. What are they?
Fischer Tips is a modeling toy for children aged 3 and older. It is made of potato starch, dyed with food coloring, and is absolutely harmless. Children can bring their creative ideas to life, and the way tips work is very simple. Just dip them into water, squeeze them, and they keep any shape you want.
These boxes show the beautiful things kids can make with Fischer Technik. What's the range of different construction kits?
Fischer Technik is meant for children aged 5 and older, a learning toy made in Germany. With Junior Line, 5-year-olds can build these little vehicles. It gets a bit more playful with the basic and the advanced line, allowing you to build bowl courses, for instance, or a big Ferris wheel like this, motor-driven and fitted with sounds and light. All fun and play. In the Profi and computing range for children aged 8 and older, we then have the engineering themes, pneumatics, renewable energy, optics, or actual computer-controlled models where you write your own program on the PC. We think it's not enough for kids just to build a kit. We also want them to understand the engineering behind it and to be creative.
Und so ganz kreativ werden.
Now that we've taken a look at the better-known divisions, I'd like to show you the more recent, less well-known divisions. So I've made my way to Horb to see automotive systems. Fischer is a supplier of the automobile industry and works closely with that sector. I've asked Mr. Daniel Genkinger to show us what is being made here. Mr. Genkinger, what is it you're making here in Horb?
We develop and make car interior components for all well-known car makers. For example, ventilation nozzles with special surface technology, or special thermal cup holders which cool or heat your drink, or display kinematics for navigation.
And what's so special about your work with the automobile industry?
What's important here is to deliver consistent quality, but also to be responsive and to provide the end consumer with large quantities. The pressure of competition is very high. This calls for top expertise and skills in plastics technology, but also in-process perfection. In our work, we cooperate closely with our consulting division, but my colleague Christian Forster from consulting and my automotive colleague Monique Mertz will no doubt tell you more.
But now I'm curious to know what exactly is Fischer Consulting. What should I imagine it means?
Consulting means giving advice. We from Fischer Consulting go to our customers at their place of business and advise them on how to optimize their processes. What we'll then try is to make our customers' processes as lean and efficient as possible.
And how come Fischer has its own consulting division?
This has something to do with the history of our company. Looking at our corporate development, Professor Klaus Fischer found that continuous improvement is necessary to safeguard our company's success. In Japan, he met some very successful businesses, and he took a keen interest in their Kaizen method.
And he transferred that to our company?
Precisely, but we've adapted it to our own corporate culture and developed the Fischer process system. The wealth of experience and knowledge we've accumulated has meanwhile become really interesting for other companies too. This was the reason why Fischer Consulting was set up. Today we operate worldwide, and not only for industry and businesses, but also for service providers and authorities. The ultimate aim everywhere is to make processes as little wasteful as possible.
Mrs. Mertz, how do you implement the process system here in Horb?
Our aim is to design every process step in production such that any kind of waste, for instance in terms of time, material, energy, and distance, resistance is avoided. This means we break down the processes into every detail and put them back together to make sure that work is optimized with as little waste and idleness as possible. This is all done in teamwork. What's important is that all our people are involved in the workshops because, after all, they know best what can be improved at their place of work.
Can you give me a practical example?
With pleasure. Here you see how the ventilation nozzle has been streamlined on the assembly line. At the planning stage, the focus is on making sure that the parts are not unnecessarily moved or handled. Here, for example, they are assembled directly in the tray. Also, the gripping distances are to be kept as short as possible, again, to avoid waste.
One very central area at Fischer is training, with a whole range of technical and commercial training vocations and study programs being offered. The emphasis is not only on learning achievement and specialist skills, but also on personal development and advancement. My fellow trainees, Julia Goltz and Patrick Schlatter, will tell you what else training at Fischer means. Mr. Schlatter, I'm making a clip on Fischer, and training should also feature in it. What's your training and what's special about it?
I'm studying business engineering at the Dual University. What I appreciate especially is the opportunity to spend some time in one of our companies abroad and to acquire intercultural skills there. There's also the chance to study at a university abroad. What I also like very much is that every employee has the chance to attend further training courses. For example, language courses in the Training and Education Center. The center has something for everybody.
Mrs. Goltz, what experiences have you made during your training?
Training at Fischer is broad-based. I'm training to be an industrial mechanic. Besides the technical, hands-on training, we also attend workshops and seminars on personality development. This includes the mission statement, but training is also given in teamwork and communication.
Are there any projects looking after the trainees during their time in training?
There are many projects. For instance, the training fairs or the Trainee Information Day, which the trainees themselves plan and organize.
I'm right now in the application world of the Fischer Academy. Regular seminars are held here and in other rooms. I'll take a quick look and ask around who takes part and what is being offered by way of training. Mr. Washington, what exactly do you do as a trainer at the Fischer Academy?
We offer seminars for customers in all our target industries. These include craftsmen in metal construction, timber construction, sanitary installations. We also offer practical seminars for engineers and structural designers. Another important group we address is our own people. After all, everybody in our company must know how our products work and how to use them correctly. The crucial factor in these training seminars is the direct reference to practical work. Anyone buying a Fischer product knows that they'll get maximum safety and the best value for money.
What would a journey through the world of Fischer be without talking to Professor Klaus Fischer himself? In over 30 years, he has shaped the company into what it is today. I'm really excited to ask him a few questions at the end. Professor Fischer, you've been running the company for over 30 years. Do you think there's a secret recipe for successfully running a company for such a long period of time?
Nee, das gibt's eigentlich überhaupt nicht. No, not really. I don't think so. Maybe the secret, as you call it, are our people and their motivation. I believe that's the decisive factor.
Der entscheidende Faktor und die Bereitschaft.
Also, the willingness to go along with changes inside the company, to break new ground, to look to the future, to deal with other markets and cultures. The readiness to do things in a different way and always to be ready for change. I think that's the most important factor.
Zu verändern, ich glaube, das ist der entscheidende Faktor.
Unser Unternehmen ist ja bekannt.
Our company is known for its corporate culture and its mission statement. What influence does this have on the people working for Fischer?
Also das Leitbild ist für die
The mission
Mitarbeiter.
statement is some kind of constitution, both for our people and for the Fischer family. It has taken us a number of years to develop this mission statement or constitution because it must ultimately reflect both the company and its employees. This is why we've defined these values: innovative, responsible, and respectable. They suit us very well, both today and in the future. We also have a clear target, and that is to earn money. If we fail to do that, if we don't succeed, there'll be many things we can't afford which we must be able to afford to be successful in the long run. This is why the mission statement is something quite special. And it's also important that it's filled with life. What's more, the mission statement should not only be valid for Germany, but for all our companies abroad, on condition, of course, that it can actually be implemented in that culture.
Umgesetzt werden kann.
Das war sie, meine Reise durch die
Well,
Welt.
that was it, my journey through the world of Fischer. Of course, I would have loved to show you more, but I suggest you come and see for yourself. All that's left for me to say is, welcome to Fischer.
You need the right kind of fixing for every job. What matters is that the best products are also made with perfection. The world is your oyster at Fischer.
Here in training, there's always a lot happening.
Following our motto, understanding engineering by playing.
The best cars need the best components.
Making the best product is not enough. It must also be integrated in the working process.
We work together in a team until things fit.